I'm Darin from the Cougar Strides Wellness Committee, and thanks for joining us today. I wanted to talk to you for just a couple of minutes about two ingredients in our kitchens that are necessary, but that can also be kind of dangerous. The first one being salt, okay? We all consume about 3,400 milligrams a day on average, and that's way too much. What we need about 2,300 milligrams, or about 5 grams. And so to show you what that looks like, top that off, that's about 5 grams of salt right there. And that in a whole day will give us all we need. Now, we need it for a few reasons: for firing those nerve impulses, for contracting and relaxing our muscles. We need salt. We also need it to balance the minerals and the water that is naturally in our bodies. So it's necessary. But the problem is that we all tend to eat way too much of it, okay? We need to kind of rethink salt in our diet. And what I mean by that is that it is an amazing flavor enhancer. It's the flavor enhancer. The right amount elevates everything we make. Our soups, casseroles, too much of it, and it tastes like everything has a blanket of salt over it, okay? So we need to rethink that in terms of how much we're using, all right? We also know the health risks of too much salt: dehydration, high blood pressure. You know, more than a third of us, adults in this country, are walking around with high blood pressure. And the sodium and the amount we take in is a real part of that problem. So if we can cut that back, what we're accomplishing is we're benefiting our health, we're lowering our blood pressure, and we're starting to taste the ingredients that we're actually putting in our food. And if this is something that's kind of new to you, I would really encourage you to give it a shot and back off gradually, okay? You don't have to start right away, because it'll probably ruin it for you. But if you start backing off of the salt just a little bit, what's going to happen is you might go to your favorite restaurant or to your favorite dish, and you'll be blown away by how salty it is, okay? That happens, I guarantee you it will happen. So what can we do? I tell you what, the first thing is buy whole, fresh foods, fresh vegetables. Buy real chicken, beef, whatever you like. But the more we make homemade food, the less salt we're going to use. Look at the sodium content of any prepackaged meals. It's through the roof, okay? So that would be the biggest suggestion that I would offer, is make your own food, make your own soups. And in terms of having that salt shaker on the table at home, maybe take it off, especially if you have kids, because that is learned behavior. And I bet you guys have somebody in your life who will sit down at the dinner table and grab the salt without ever tasting their food first, okay? So I would recommend maybe taking that salt shaker off of the table. Be in control of everything that goes into every dish that you make, okay? Now, in my house for 25 or 30 years, I've used exclusively kosher salt. Kosher salt, this is kosher salt. Kosher salt has a bigger grain, if you will, than table salt. It's also hollow, and it just, when you're grabbing it, you're more in control of what you're using. That's just a personal preference for me. An even better suggestion would be sea salt. Sea salt contains like 60 trace minerals. It's a much better option than the standard table salt that we're using. So good luck. Cut back a little at a time, and I guarantee you, you're gonna start tasting food the way you've never tasted it, and it's a real benefit, okay? All right, so the second thing in our kitchens that we're gonna talk about is, you guessed it, sugar. And we all know that too much of this stuff is not good for us, but facts are facts, okay? Too much sugar in the short term can give you acne, can make you irritable, and it can cause weight gain. In the long term, more weight gain, a risk of type 2 diabetes, which is very real, and heart trouble, okay? So cutting back on sugar is kind of necessary. And in this day and age, it's something that, you know, we can all think about a little bit more than we do, all right? So how can we do that? Well, the first thing, I think, and the most obvious thing, is to substitute fruit juice with the real thing, okay? What you're getting with fruit, as opposed to fruit juice, it's one word, it's fiber. Those sugars in fruit juice attach themselves to fiber, they move slower through your body, they're absorbed more slowly into your bloodstream. And so whole fresh fruit can actually lower your risk of type 2 diabetes instead of the glass of fruit juice with no pulp in it, which can increase, okay? We all know about sodas and energy drinks. The average can of cola contains 10 teaspoons of sugar. Even more than that if you're drinking energy drinks. So I would say, if you need a little caffeine boost in the afternoon, why not an awesome cup of coffee or a cup of tea? Because again, you control what goes into that cup, okay? You're not counting on, some mass-produced sugary soda. And the long-term effects of that stuff, boy, it can be very, very dangerous. So cut back. And another thing that I would recommend in your house is maybe instead of the white refined sugar, let me back up a second. When sugar is refined, all of those trace minerals, all the good stuff is taken out of it. And then further chemicals are introduced to get rid of any other impurities. What I would suggest is replacing mass sugar with raw sugar, because the magnesium and the iron that are there naturally are still here, and they're not taken out during processing. Another good option might be honey for you. Honey has a lower glycemic index than sugar. It's absorbed more slowly into your bloodstream. It's just better for you. And honey contains all kinds of trace minerals and good stuff. If you suffer from seasonal allergies, locally sourced honey can really be an assist for you. Okay, so those would be my suggestions with sugar, aside from just cutting back on the sweets. We all know that if you maybe limit your sweet treat to 1 day a week, you're going to enjoy it more. It's just the way it is. And if you've been on a lower salt journey or lower sugar, and you've got some great advice to share, we would love to see your comments down below. So let us know if you've had some real success cutting back on either of these things. And good luck to you. Thanks for watching.